So let's get into myNode. So, from my understanding, it's both hardware and software that kind of allows you to have, your own Bitcoin node and Lightning wallet all in one. You got a nice YouTube video explaining it on your website, which is mynodebtc.com for anybody that at home that wants to go and check it out. But yeah, why don't you get into it, get into your little explanation of the product. And yeah, I see that you have like a couple different ones like myNode 1, myNode Premium, and a community as well.
Yeah. So, of course, I guess this some of those decisions go back in 2019. Like the popular Bitcoin node that was going around at the time was the Casa node that a bunch of people ended up getting, and it was based on a Raspberry Pi, but you had to sort of sign up for their like monthly services to get a Lightning node, which was sort of kind of separate from their multi-sig like core business. And they ended up dropping that after some time, I think, because they saw some alternatives popping up. But I really like that idea of being able to provide that. But I wanted to make it a little bit easier to where somebody didn't have to sign up for a multi-sig service to get a node. And so I also thought, I don't necessarily want to be in the business of only shipping this to people and building them myself and not allowing other people to build it, which I think there were a couple other companies at the time that you basically had to go buy an expensive node yourself. And I thought, that would be hard to break into the market. And if I really wanted to just share it with a bunch of people at the time and build a community around it. So I knew I wanted there to be a community edition, like a free edition where you can just go use it for free. You don't have to pay anything. And I wanted to include all the core software in there. Like, of course, Bitcoin, Lightning, an Electrum server, they all have to be in the free area because those are sort of the most useful parts of it, I think. And so they're all in the community edition. And then because I wanted to allow people to build their own, I needed to give them a path to upgrade from the community edition to the premium edition so I could sort of help, fund all this development effort and support I was doing at the time. And it just kind of grew from there. And so I realized, there's a lot of people that do want pre-built options. And so I offered the pre-built options as well. And it's kind of interesting to look at some of those patterns over time. Like now I'm actually selling more of the pre-built ones. I think a lot of the tinker people who wanted to build their own, like they kind of, bought it and got on early. And now also with Raspberry Pis and some of the supply chain issues we're seeing, it's very difficult to build your own because it's hard to actually go get a Raspberry Pi device. So I've had to add support for, other like SBCs, the single board computers, and other ways to run the myNode software. But my background has been entirely in software. I don't do hardware design or anything like that, but I just need to make sure people are able to, run the software that I care about on devices. And that's been real challenging lately with the, supply chain and, inflation issues that we're seeing. Costs are going up and it's really hard to get supplies when you need them.